Alright guys, welcome back to American Ninja Warrior Season 17 Episode 6. Well, the review of Season 17 Episode 6, not the actual show. This is a bit of a downgrade, and we'll probably get a few less views than the actual show. But welcome to the review for it. We're going to talk about Season 17 Episode 6 today of American Ninja Warrior. And honestly, just to get some context of where I'm at with this show, I waited till Wednesday to watch it this week, which is rare for me. And while I was doing it, I didn't want to waste 2 hours of just doing nothing. So while I watched it, I was doing like one of those like grip string things where you squeeze it together. It had 50 pounds resistance. It's my sister's, but I borrowed it while I was doing the show, just to kind of do something while I watched it, because I'm getting to a point where the show is kind of like a chore for me more than like something I look forward to, which is unfortunate. But the repetition of the obstacles is pretty bad this season and stuff like that, and just the show feels like it's dragging. So just to give you an idea, like this season's kind of becoming a job to watch, and I probably won't do this again next year because it's just not worth it. But with that being said, I'm gonna do a review today. And speaking of chores, these reviews are kind of also a time commitment, unfortunately. But I'm gonna do a little challenge today to make it more fun. Well, not really a challenge, but it's just these sizzling cinnamon jelly beans. I got them at 7-Eleven. I didn't even realize, but I wanted to do this video before I eat them so I can enjoy them rather than drain this video beforehand. But now I'm gonna do them during the video so I can like keep it interesting for me, because otherwise it's gonna get boring. So every time I talk about a new contestant, I'll eat a jelly bean. It's not like the one-chip challenge. It's easy. It's just that I'm that bored. But we have the list here. Well, first of all, let me say the course before I do the list. We have the quad steps. We have the... I watched this yesterday. What the heck? We have the quad steps. Not the flywheels. Not the log grip. What was... the lunatic ledges. Back again. We have the log runner. Back again. We have the spin cycle. No. We don't have to... crank it up. Then V formation, then warp wall. This course is the longer course because they crank it up and everything, and the V formation. So they give them a minute 10 instead of a minute to get the mega wall. So that kind of evens the playing field a bit between the courses. I think it's still a pretty tough time limit compared to the other ones, because this course is just arguably longer. But yeah, but that's kind of, at least they kind of account for it somewhat. I appreciate that. And since we did the whole course there, I'm proud of myself. I completed the whole Ninja Warrior course. We'll have a jelly bean. It's not hot, I promise. But we're talking about the contestants now. The first contestant was named Nikki Zink, like the chemical element, and she's from Vatican City. I didn't know what they said about her because my TV was on mute at the time because I couldn't find the remote, but she's from Vatican City. She was close on the lunatic ledges. She barely made it through. She was like on the edge of the platform, but she climbed up, and then she failed the log runner. I feel like I've seen that before. Then they had Booty Cothran, who's been there for a while. I remember seeing him like 10 years ago. I believe 10 years ago he joined. And they pointed out that 5 years ago he failed the lunatic ledges, and so he got revenge on it. It was kind of close, but he jumped off it and he made it. And then he got stuck on the V formation. He made it to the V formation, but he got stuck hanging from the first part, like the easier part, arguably. But he couldn't get up to the ledge. He was trying to reach for it, and he couldn't. And he swung, and he couldn't make the reach. You could tell when he was hanging that he was done, because he didn't have any like strength left. He was just kind of dangling. So I knew he wasn't gonna make it down the V's, and unfortunately he didn't, and he failed there. And the sad thing is, this is his final season, so that is kind of sad. But he had a good run to end with. The fifth obstacle was pretty good, so I'm happy for him. Also, I didn't eat my jelly bean for the first one, so now we gotta double up. So we got 2 here. That's kind of weird. That's just too much. They taste weird when they're together. They taste like something else. I don't know. They taste like some weird protein thing. Okay, then they went to break, but they did this extremely long segment before it, like previewing like 10 different people, which felt kind of excessive, especially because after they showed the 10 people, they're like, we're gonna be back in exactly 1 minute. You know, the first break is like 1 minute long only, so it's like, why do the preview was longer than the break itself, which just seems kind of like counterintuitive, and like just don't waste so much time on a preview. But I guess they want to keep people watching, but it seems kind of long, and I don't think anyone's gonna pay attention to all that, but they did it. But they previewed like 10 people in that segment. It felt like a 2 minute long preview before the break. For a 1 minute break. It's weird. Anyway, then they had a thing where they're doing the wackiest moments this week, and they do these countdowns every week, but I don't really cover them because they're just, it's already long enough with these reviews. I don't want to waste time with talking about some like highlight reel thing. But this one was kind of cool because it was the John Luby, the old guy that I like, who does the course. He's like, I don't know, he's in his 70s, I think, like early 70s, or maybe late 60s. But either way, I like his like character, and they showed me, because it was in Daytona 2017, which I was at. So when they showed him falling, they showed me in the audience, but they showed my dad. They showed me and my dad in the audience. So that was a cool cameo for me, because I was the star of it, obviously. But it was cool to see that. It was like, oh, I just looked up, I saw myself, I was like, wait, what? I saw the young version of myself who was 15 or 14 or 15. So if you want to see that, go back to the scene and try to find me. That's your challenge. I don't know what the prize is, but that's your challenge. So that was cool to see myself like front and center on there. That's the only way I'll see myself on American Warrior, not on the course. Not yet. We'll get there. Then they had Jimmy Choi, who's a ninja with Parkinson's. He's been around for a while on the show, but he hasn't been on for a bit because they said the Parkinson's got so bad that it was hard to compete, which is rough when you think about it, because that's the thing that you're in a constant battle with because of shaking and everything. It's hard to, obviously, like very going against what you have to do on Ninja because your hands are shaking. But when he's on the course, he looks really good. Like he's able to hang from everything and do all that. And he made it through the log runner. He made it through the, what is the second obstacle? What's wrong with me? The lunatic ledges and log runner. Those are two very dynamic obstacles. So being able to do that with Parkinson's is very impressive. And he almost made it to crank it up, but he failed to drop to the final bar. And now here's my hot take. Just kidding, not that. But I actually do have a hot take about this obstacle, which is the fact that the drop to the final bar is kind of unfair to competitors because the original design that Kevin Brecky made, the designer of the obstacle, did not have the final bar. It was just 3 cranks to a platform. So having a final bar is kind of like an addition to his idea. This was the obstacle that won the obstacle design challenge the first year, and they also hired this guy to be like on the obstacle design team after the fact because he like won the challenge, which is cool. But that's not even the point. But the fact that they added the bar in is kind of like not the original concept. I wish they stuck more faithfully to the original design. I'm sure this Jimmy Choi does too because he would have made it through if they did. But I guess it's just to fill out the pool because otherwise it wouldn't reach the end. But yeah, technically that should not be on the obstacle, so it doesn't count, in my opinion. But that's kind of a technical opinion for me. Okay, this got slow me down. this jelly bean idea is gonna slow me down. It's probably not a good idea. But then they did a fast forward of this guy from the theater whose name I didn't get because my TV, because I was talking while it was playing, so I couldn't hear it. But he's like a theater performer, I think, because they showed the curtains closing when he ended. But he got stuck on the lunatic ledges, like the swinging part, for a minute. And most people get stuck on like the second board, like the one that you can stand on. But he was stuck on like the swinging ledge, like the part where you're like this, for a minute, which is rare. It looked like he was screwed if he was on there for that long, because like once you're on there for so long and you can't get there, it seems like you wouldn't make it. But he did make it. He grabbed the bar on the second ledge and made it. But then unfortunately he made it to the platform. He made it through log runner, which was impressive. But then he got stuck on one crank, like on crank up. He was on one side with both hands, and he missed. I don't know how he got into one side with both hands, but at that point you're pretty much done because you can very inefficiently do that with one hand, with one side. So I knew he was done, but it seemed like an interesting run. I kind of wish they showed that in full because like it had some interesting events in it. Apparently getting stuck on the ledge and then getting stuck and crank it up. So I wish they showed that one. It's different, and we need different on the show. Then they did Sebastian Ramos, whose name I didn't get, so I had to go back after the fact retroactively to see it. But he's a skateboarder and he cleared the course. And sorry, but I didn't read anything else about him because I was distracted. But he looked good on the course. He looked like someone I know, but that's not the point. But yeah, he had a good run, so that's good. That was a very quick segment, but good job, Sebastian. Then they did a fast forward for Jamie Ron. They said it's his 15th season, his 20th buzzer. And that's it. I thought there was more stats, but the 15th season, 20th buzzer. So those are two pretty substantial things because they're multiples of 5, so that's kind of a good number. And his 25th bottle of green hair dye. No, but the 15th season, 20th buzzer. He did well on the course. They showed that he made it through everything easily until V formation, and they emphasized that he's never been on V formation before compared to the other obstacles which he has been on before. So I was like, oh, he might fail here, but he made it through. And they made up the wall and cleared. So he cleared the course on the fast forward. So good for him. I wish they show him in full, but I guess he's been there for so long now that they're kind of like over him. Which sucks, but that's how it works on the show. So yeah. We had a good run there. I'm glad he made it through. Then they had Alyssa Beard, who's the teacher that has been on for a while. She was part of like the ninjas that cleared, or not, that moved on in season 8, I believe. She failed the crank it up bar. So another one that got cheated about the stupid crank it up bar that shouldn't be there. So, Alyssa Beard and Jimmy Choi, I got you. That's not, shouldn't be there in the first place. I can't do much about it, but I can know that it's stupid. Okay, this is really getting stupid with the jelly beans because I'm wasting time here. It's not spicy though. This isn't like the 1 chip challenge yet. That video. Anyway, then they have Amir Malik, who's a baker now. He bakes cookies, and they brought cookies to Matt and Akbar. And he cleared the course, and Matt and Akbar liked the cookies. The end, because I didn't write much info on this episode because I got bored doing it. But he had a good run. That's not about him. That was bored the whole time. But he did well on the course and made it through. So good job, Amir. Then they did Bob Reese, and I wasn't bored doing this part, but you guessed it, I was not like the biggest fan of this. Because basically his thing is he does crazy parkour tricks and stuff, which is cool. I wish I could do them, and that's really cool to see like all those tricks. And like doing it at a gym is great. You know, if you can get all that stuff done, that's really good. But I think when you're on American Ninja Warrior, I don't like what he did, did a front flip into jumping spider. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a cool move, but it's just like, you're not supposed, I mean, there's no rule against it. I'm not saying there should be a rule against it because that'd be dumb, but just do the course. You don't gotta do, like all the tricks. I remember back in the day, someone tried to do a front flip onto the jump hang, like the trampoline to net. They did a front flip to get there and missed. And that was funny, but that's because he missed. I don't like when they make it, because, like, and he did fail the jumping spider the first time we did it, but apparently last year he did it again and cleared. And the thing is, it's all for, like, a viral video thing. Like, try to clear the course. If you're on the show, try to clear the course. Don't try to make a viral TikTok or YouTube or whatever. It's just dumb to me. Like, I don't know if I have my jelly bean already for this contestant, but I'm going to eat another one, because I'm annoyed. I'm burning up, not even because of jelly beans. But, like, I think that's dumb. And then today he did, like, between the two cranks on Crank It Up, he did like a backflip to get to the second one. It's just, like, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but like, it's just, you can just do that at the gym, don't do it on the course. I get it from his perspective because he's like a content creator, but I don't get it because, like, that's not, just do the show, try to win $1 million, make that money. 250,000, but still, make that money. It's just dumb. Like, nothing against him, it's just, I don't like the idea of like, oh, I have to do all these crazy tricks. Just clear the course, that's the point. Nothing against him, but yeah, I'm not a fan of that philosophy of running the course. But he did some tricks. His profile was about the tricks. His run was about the tricks. Matt Akbar was saying I was going to go viral and how it's the craziest qualifying run ever, which I disagree with. But yeah, he cleared the course. Good for him. Again, nothing personal. I just don't like the tricks on the course. I think it's dumb. Next. Then they had Rob Murawski. Speaking of kind of dumb, Rob Murawski, they did the whole like model thing to Adonis. And they said he became a real estate agent, realtor. And he failed the lunatic ledges. So they said he's been training, but unfortunately he didn't train enough for the new obstacles. He failed the second obstacle. It was very unfortunate. But speaking of Robert Murawski, we got some hot jelly beans. That sounds like a Matt line. Anyway, then they had Travis Nguyen, who skipped the last log on Log Runner. He went to the first 3, skipped the last one, which is impressive. I like that. And they say he does 100 pull-ups, 50 squats, and 50 push-ups every day. Oh, now that I think about it, maybe I wrote it down wrong, because I feel like it'd be more likely to be 50 push-ups and 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups, because like push-ups are a lot easier than pull-ups, at least to most people. So 100 pull-ups and 50 push-ups seems kind of weird. I'm guessing I wrote it down wrong, and it's 50 push-ups, 100 pull-ups. 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups. I need like autocorrect to turn on for me. But like that seems, I'm guessing I wrote it down wrong now I look at it. But either way, that's impressive. Doing that every morning. I wake up 5 minutes before I have to leave the house. So that's not happening for me, at least not yet. But that's really good. And basically the story was about how he's like worked at a ninja summer camp. I think, again, I wasn't really paying attention to this episode, so I think he was. I don't know what I'm doing reviewing this episode. I don't even know what's happening anymore. But I believe he was a ninja summer camp. It's a good story, even though I wasn't really paying attention this week. He skipped the fourth log, which was really good. That was impressive, and they replayed it. That was a good move. And then they said the stats, and I think he cleared. I'm trying to get my computer to connect here so I can see. Okay. No, my internet's okay. Whatever. No, it's too bright. No. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna post this video. I just need to end the series. But yeah, basically I think he cleared the course. Then they fast forward Brett Sims, who failed the log runner. That's sad because he's been an OG for a while now. So it's sad to see him fail. But the log runner gets a lot of people. As we'll cover in a minute about something else. But then they had Lucas Reality, who kicked the V. So basically he's hanging from the first one. He kicked the third one with one of his legs. So it was upside down like this. Whereas you want it to be like this. So he had to flip it, and he did. I think it's easier to flip it because it kind of is automatically set to go back to like the original default position. So it wasn't too bad, but it was good that he was able to kick it back into place. And He made it through that, which was good, a good recovery. But then he failed the warp wall twice, or not failed, but he took 3 tries on the wall. He failed the first 2 attempts. And the first one was really bad. It was like he ran into the wall. Then he came a bit closer on the second one. And he made it on the third, but that was surprising, especially for like a veteran, and just kind of for anyone at this point to struggle on the warp wall, because that's rare, unless it's like a younger person or like a late. But you're just not like a guy that struggles on the wall, just because like by this point, like most guys are tall enough, and most guys have a warp wall that they can make it up easily. So I was surprised to see that, but throw a jelly bean. But he struggled, but he made it through, so that's good. It would be weird to see a run end on the warp wall, but it almost happened, I guess. But I think a lot of people really dig deep on the third attempt, because a lot of people will come close. Well, not a lot. Most people make it on the first. But like a surprising amount of people failed the first 2 and make up the third. So I think he had it, but it's still interesting how close he cut it. So yeah, he cleared the course. Okay, now while I'm talking about the log runner, they fast forwarded a bunch of log runner fails and said that it's knocked out the most competitors, which is a very vague statement. Like I'm guessing they meant this episode, but could also very easily, like the way they say it sounds like it could be like anything, like this episode, this season, this show, the length of this whole TV show. I don't think it's that, because it hasn't been that bad. I'm guessing they meant this episode, maybe this season, but it's one of those open-ended stats where it should be like the most ninjas tonight, not like just the most ninjas. Like that's a very broad statement to say, or at least a very vague statement. So I don't know what they were going for there. But either way, it's a very tough obstacle, clearly. So that's the point. But just semantically, you gotta get it right. Back to the fire. Fight fire with fire. Oh no! I can't even keep this straight. I jumped a bunch into a couple over there. You guys are better off just watching the actual episode. Don't watch my review. It's a mess. Anyway, they cut to Brandon Griffin, who was basically trained by this guy named Xavier Dancer, who's like an older competitor. He was one of the ninja kids at first, but now he's 20, so he's a bit older. I mean, not that old, but by show standard, old is a very relative term. But he's a younger guy that was trained by Xavier Dancer, who they're calling X now, which is kind of like how they changed Twitter to X. It's like just like a sudden, like, oh, we're calling this X now. It's the same as Twitter, but with a competitor. But apparently Xavier Dancer is just X now. So he was trained by his ex. Sorry, he was trained by X, and he did well. They basically show a preview of how he's like training with him. He did well on the first 3 obstacles. He made it through. Then the 4th obstacle, they emphasized that he was struggling on, which I don't think he was struggling too much, but they were like, oh, he's struggling a lot, swinging back and forth. He's getting tired here, which is, I mean, he definitely struggled a little bit, but they really like trying to like hit that home. I feel like that he was struggling there. And then on the 5th obstacle, he really slowed down. He was struggling, and he tried to go from the first to the 3rd V, and he failed that, unfortunately. And they showed how he failed the same exact way as Xavier did his first season. So that was kind of a cool, actually, like, coincidence, I guess, that they both failed the same one. I mean, unfortunate, but also kind of cool. Or, yeah, it's interesting. I guess he trained him to do well and also fail in the same spots as him. That was a good one overall. That was a good one. Sorry, I think you guys can tell, like, from last week to this week, I'm just like, I really lowered my standards of this review. Not that it was ever high, to be clear, but like it's definitely gone down a bit, like more exponentially this week. Unfortunately, it's the last qualifying episode, so I'm hoping next week will pick up my like excitement for a show. But right now, it's just like, okay, we get through this episode. By the end of the season, if it keeps getting this bad, I'll be like, I don't even know what I'll be doing for a final episode. What the distraction method will be. Anyway. Then they had Xavier himself, the guy that trained Brandon Griffin. And he did even better. He cleared the course. He missed the mega wall by 0.35 seconds, so I guess he got a time of 1:10.35, which is pretty fast for his course, but still not fast enough for the mega wall, unfortunately. But still a good effort at that. And he cleared the course, so you can't complain. So X made it through. I wonder if Twitter made it through, or if Twitter fell in the water. So then they had Abby Clark, who they did a proposal, apparently. I wrote down a proposal because I feel like I've heard like 10 proposal stories this season, and I'm just like, I don't even know what's what anymore. But there's a proposal. Great. I'm trying to eat this to collect myself because I forgot what I'm reading here. She was the first woman to clear V formation and she got the warp wall on her second try and cleared the course. That's a very good run. First one to clear V formation is interesting because it hasn't been in that many episodes, but the V formation's been in like 4, I want to say, because it was in the first 2 episodes of season 13. Why do I know that? But it was in the first 2 episodes of season 13 and 2 episodes this season. And I think maybe 1 of another season, but I think maybe not. So either 4 or 5, I want to say. But either way, that's pretty impressive after that many episodes to be the only one to make it through that. So that's a good stat. So good job to Abby, and she made out the warp wall. So I'm glad for her. It's very good. Then they did another ridiculous fast forward of Noah Munier. I think I wrote it right. But just like last week when they fast forwarded the Hans Hertz guy, they're like, oh, he made it stage 4 twice in a row, and we're fast forwarding him. Like, what? Why would you fast forward this guy and then show, like, let's see who I'm throwing under the bus here. Bob Reese. Why are you gonna show some guy backflipping, but you're not gonna show the stage 4 finalists? Like, I mean, the Bob Reese one was pretty good, but like, why are you gonna? I just don't get that. Like, if someone makes stage 4, they should be like, grandfathered in, or they should be like, guaranteed to be shown. Like, it's not. Come on now, you gotta show it. Like, I know a lot of people made stage 4 last season, so it's not as big as like one person making stage 4. I think there was like several, and Vance Walker was the overall winner, so it wasn't them. But I think if you make a stage 4, you should be guaranteed to be shown next season. Like, that's, to me, as like a viewer, that's what's interesting. Not like some random guy just doing some stupid stuff. My reviews are also getting more critical. I guess that's a good thing, but I don't know in this case. I don't even know how the jelly bean distribution is working anymore. I'm kind of eating them as I go. But yeah. So that's unfortunate I skipped him. He had a good run though, and he cleared the course. He failed the mega wall, but he cleared the course. So he cleared the course very quickly, actually. I think like 103, I want to say. So he made the mega wall. He failed it. Pretty good run though. Just unfortunately they cut him, just like the other guy last week. Like, you just gotta show people to make stage 4. You cannot cut them. It's dumb. Then they ended the night with Joe Morosky, which is good, I guess, that they showed him. And they said he's struggling a little bit to train now that he's like a dad. He's balancing more responsibilities. So that makes sense, as a story. I think they've been saying that for a few years now about him, like, this whole, like, dad bod thing. So that's kind of been, like, their newish thing about him. But he cleared the course. He made the mega wall. Well, he made it to the mega wall and failed the mega wall. He's pretty close, but he didn't make it. They want him to beat the record of mega wall clears, but he didn't. But still a pretty good attempt overall, so you can't complain. He made it to the course, so you can't complain too much. He's made a relatively big amount of money off the show by the mega wall clears compared to a lot of people, so that's good. He almost made won the prize the fastest time, but he was slower than Noah, I think. So yeah, he didn't get that money, but he still gets a lot of money in other episodes relative to other people, so you cannot complain. But yeah, overall this episode was just kind of slow for me. I think it was like the Philadelphia region when I think about it, because like Jamie Rollin was here, Joe Morosky was here. I feel like Alyssa Beer is often in Philadelphia type region, so it's kind of like that episode, like the Northeast, I guess I should say. So, not that that means anything, but I saw that as I was looking at the names. But yeah, overall, the episode was just kind of a blurb, a blur of just like random stuff. So that's not great. But these jelly beans are very good. These are great. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And until next time, I will see you. I don't even know what I'm doing. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time after we get recovered from these jelly beans. I'm going to enjoy these jelly beans and not the rest of the season probably, but at least I'll enjoy these. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Peace out.